Hey gorgeous souls, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another one of my videos today. So today's video comes highly requested, and I did a podcast episode on this topic as well, but I actually wanted to extend this to even more of your wonderful questions. So I asked you on Instagram what your questions about meditation were, because this is actually a really big question I get a lot of the time of, why do I see darkness when I meditate? Or can everybody meditate? How can I use meditation for manifestation? So I wanted to give you a meditation 101 on what to expect, how you can build your meditation, and actually answer some really common questions that I get around meditation. Meditation is one of my favorite practices to do, but there have been so many things that I've had to overcome over the years with meditation: blocks, resistance, intrusive thoughts, not seeing things. So I think it's actually really interesting to share that experience with you, but also share how I overcame those and answer your burning questions all around meditation. But if you're new here to my channel, then welcome. My name is Emma. I'm an award-winning life coach and 3 times best-selling author, law of attraction YouTuber here on my channel, and I'm the host of the #1 spirituality podcast on iTunes, Spiritual Queen's Badass Podcast. And here on this channel, I cover all things law of attraction, manifestation, spirituality, and self-help. So not only do I really hope you're going to enjoy this video, but the abundance of videos here on my channel over the last 8 years. So what is meditation then? Well, meditation is a practice, a tool that you can use to access the theta and alpha waves within your mind. It's a way that you can access your subconscious mind as well. It's a tool that can help to regulate our nervous system, calm our adrenals, focus on our breath, and relax us. To be honest, meditation is the best for relaxation. It's the best for quieting your mind, for helping you to just release any stress. So those are the kind of more, I would say, formal descriptions of meditation. But also meditation can be used for a whole array of different things. It can be used to manifest. It could be used to set intentions. It could be used to heal. It could be used to connect to your higher self, connect to the universe, connect to your spirit team. So meditation can be used for so many things to help us improve our life. It can be used for health benefits, obviously reducing stress, helping you to relax, calm your mind. There are so many health benefits to meditation, mind benefits, spiritual benefits. So meditation is absolutely a full mind, body, spirit experience, 100%, and can just give the person so many different experiences of whether you want to dive deep and see things and experience things, or whether you actually just want to close your eyes and rest, relax, and receive. So meditation is a beautiful receiving practice, and it's something that I have used in my spiritual practice and manifestation practice for many, many years. I first came across meditation back when I was 16. I definitely was not spiritual awake or spiritual aware at that point. I definitely knew what angels were and kind of connected to that. But meditation I really came to through the act of Buddhism. And I remember buying a Buddhism book from Waterstones all those years ago and just absolutely loving it. And every day just sitting in meditation, sitting in silence, sitting still and just listening. And obviously the Buddhist way of meditation or teaching meditation is very much around stillness. It's very much around breath, stillness, and just literally sitting there. So the Buddhist way of meditation is not necessarily how I would teach meditation now, or the meditations that are here on this YouTube channel. It's very much a very, I would say, more basic practice, but still equally powerful and potent, but sitting with your thoughts, sitting with yourself. So sometimes we need those meditations where we sit with ourselves, we sit still, we listen, and we just receive. And other times we want meditations where we are more active and we're doing things and we're manifesting and we're setting intentions or we're doing whatever. So I think there's so much beauty in both practices and both ends of meditation, but it's finding what works for you. So back when I was 16, I was just doing that each and every day to just really help me cope with the things that I was going through. And it's a very dark place in my life at that point. And my anxiety and depression was only just getting started. It wasn't really at its full peak at all at that point. So I wasn't really aware of it. So for me, meditation was a practice of connection. It was a practice of connecting to spirit. or connecting to the universe, connecting to myself through Buddhism at that point. And I saw nothing. So I saw just black nothing for absolutely ages. I would say about 6 to 8 months. And then just one day I started to see a field. I just saw a field and I was like, this is new, okay. And from there, each time I would go into that field, I would see a little bit more. I would see a tree, a lake appear, a little river. I would see 2 little girls appear that are now my godchildren here in the physical, years before they were born, years before they were in my life. And obviously I had no idea who they were. I just thought they were these 2 random girls saying hi to me, supporting me, being there. And they look exactly like my god kids. They're the same age difference. And I didn't know the older girl's name, but the younger girl's name I knew as Ella, and my goddaughter's name is Bella. And me and Selena always freak out at this because we're like, it's so freaky that I was seeing them for years before. Like I was 16 at this point. Bella wasn't even born until 2016. So God, how old was I in 2016? That was about 10 years difference. So that was a lot. I can't do the maths right now. But so there was a lot that happened and still happens in my meditations. And again, for all those years, for probably about a 4 or 5 year period, I wasn't necessarily meditating consistently, but every time I would go in, I'd see the field, I'd see the girls, they would be exactly the same, everything would be the same. So Bella disappeared the month she was conceived. I had no awareness of that. I just went into meditation, April 2016. Oh, she's not there anymore. Where's she gone? She's in Selena's tummy. So yeah, that freaks us out hugely. So I didn't go into meditation with the expectation of seeing my godchildren or connecting to them or even the field. I had no idea you could do that. I just thought I was making stuff up, having a little fantasy place to escape to, or like just a peaceful place that helped. I had no idea that there was any psychic or more profound meaning to that meditation place. And as I said, that took me 6 to 8 months of consistent, dedicated practice to even see a single thing. Then from there, obviously, when I spiritually awakened in 2016, so I was about, like 22, 21, I think at that point. And from there, obviously, I really started to dive into spirituality, and I really dived into a different meditation practice where I was doing self-love meditations, higher self meditations, all sorts of meditations, manifestation meditations. So then the visuals came really easy to me because I'd already had so much practice with meditation. I was meditating in a different way this time, and also I was used to the visuals. Now that didn't mean every single time it was super easy for me. Obviously with consistent practice, it continued to grow, it continued to develop. And I really want to say meditation is like a muscle. You cannot expect to walk into the gym on day 1 with the 6-pack, right? You must go to the gym regularly to obtain the muscle that you want, right? So you can't expect to turn up to the gym on day 1 and expect to have the toned muscle. You can't expect to go into meditation on day 1 and be a pro. You cannot expect to have that resilience, that consistent practice, or that level of connection from day 1. It takes time. And if you are someone who is so frustrated that you are seeing nothing in meditation, allow it to be what it needs to be. Meditation is a deeply allowing practice. Allow each meditation to be what it needs to be. Even if you're doing one of my meditations here on YouTube and I'm saying, see this, see that, and you're not able to, allow yourself to receive still. Even if you're seeing color, even if you're just feeling things, not necessarily seeing things, it's still working. Meditation still works. Even if you're not able to see the full extent or anything for that matter, you're still able to receive the energy. You're still able to receive the healing or whatever it is from that practice. And practice makes perfect. So even if you did that meditation again, you might feel differently. You might start to see things. You might feel it more clearly. So the more you dedicate yourself to a meditation practice, I meditate every single day for literally about 3 minutes. It's nothing long, it's nothing lengthy, it's simply an energy protection meditation. It's not a deeply profound intention setting ritual. It's not a breath work exercise. It is a little bit, of course, because obviously the breath deeply connects us to meditation, but it's actually just a simple energy protection. But I make sure I connect to myself every day, connect to my energy, protect my energy, and connect to my spirit guides every single day. And now, obviously, I'm able to just channel meditations and meditate so easily. because that consistency, that muscle has been built. So keep meditating. If you're feeling frustration, I saw nothing for 6 to 8 months. And for other people, it might be years. It may be way longer or way shorter. And people can see things straight away in meditation sometimes. Your third eye chakra, which is here, your brow bone, is really, really kind of like important to address when you're wanting to see things in meditation as well, because it is our inner eye, our third eye. So you could meditate with an amethyst placed on your third eye chakra. This is actually a really good starting place of opening that third eye, of connecting, of being able to see things through meditation. So pop an amethyst on your third eye. Obviously you might have to lie down to balance it, otherwise it's going to drop down if you sat up. You could hold the amethyst if you wanted to. But amethyst is the crystal of meditation. It's the crystal of the third eye chakra. It's all about healing, seeing, spiritual awakening as well. So I would really say that amethyst is a great crystal to work with, which is actually someone's question a bit later on. To connect with the third eye, to open the third eye, and to really start developing your relationship with seeing things. Now, like I said, I never went into meditation with an intention to see things, experience things, connect to my God kids, nothing like that. I went into meditation as a complete novice. I went into meditation as just to receive, just to escape, just to be. So I feel like when we go into meditation with a fixed and rigid expectation of I must see this, I must do that, that's where meditation can go wrong. Please allow each meditation to be what it needs to be for you. Every time you meditate will be vastly different. You'll get different things from it. You'll feel different things. You'll take away different things. So allow the meditation to be what it needs to be. Some people aren't very visual people. Sometimes they're more audient people, clairaudient. Maybe they feel things more, instead of seeing things. So again, we have our manifesting superpowers, which I talk about, and I'll link that video below. But equally, we have our meditation superpowers as well. So it's finding meditations that work for you, but also just accepting like this meditation is going to be what it needs to be for me. Maybe I'm going to see something, maybe I'm not, but that's not the point of it. The point is that I'm here. The point is that I'm present. The point is that I'm connecting. And that will grow in time. That relationship and connection will grow with time. The important thing is that I'm showing up and I'm being consistent with it. And that leads me on to the types of meditation you're doing as well. So people, you might try my meditations and be like, oh my God, this is so great. I love it. I really connect with it. You might do them and think, it's just too far out there for me. It doesn't fit. I can't see things. I'm not quite connecting with it. There are so many different types of meditation. There are like affirmation meditations. There are chakra meditations. There are deeply spiritual meditations. There are more audio meditations. There are more visual meditations. There is so much you can do in meditations, and obviously the more traditional Buddhist ways of meditating, which is literally sitting in silence and doing nothing, thinking nothing. There's so many different ways to meditate. So I really encourage you to try different types of meditation, different time frames. Maybe start with 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, and just try different types of meditation to see what you really resonate with and what really gets you the results that you want in terms of, if it's feeling peace, if it's feeling calm, finding those things that get you to where you want to be, get you to where you're feeling. And that will be vastly different for everybody. So it's a bit like manifestation. Not every tool is going to work for everybody, but the fact that there's such a wide variety of meditations or the tools you can try is perfect, because then you're going to find something that fits. You're going to find something that feels good and find something that really helps you to connect and deepen your relationship with meditation. But there are so many benefits to meditating, and it's truly a practice I would recommend to everybody, even if you can find 30 seconds in your day to just sit in meditation. And the great thing about meditation is meditation can look like many different things. A lot of people think meditation is sat cross-legged on the floor with you move your hands, like closing your eyes and clearing your thoughts. And well, yes, it can look like that. Meditation can also look like whilst folding the laundry with your eyes open. Jordan Bach shared this on my podcast many years ago, that a form of of meditation for him is folding the laundry and smelling and taking the smells in with his eyes open. And he said, that's my form of meditation each day. So meditation doesn't have to look a certain way either. Meditation is your practice, your devotion, how you see meditation and what you get from it, your experience, so to speak. So I think drop the expectations of meditation and allow it to be what it needs to be for you, because when you do that, you open up yourself to experiencing so much more and open the floodgates for visuals to come through, for messages to come through, for whatever. And there's just so many different ways to meditate. But here on my channel, I've got a whole playlist of meditation videos of all different lengths, all different objectives and things to do. So just try it. Try a simple one, try a more advanced one, see what you flow with, see what feels good. You might want to do a manifestation meditation. You might want to do a protection meditation. So I think it's more of a case of trying and seeing what feels good without the expectation or control, knowing that you're exactly where you need to be. You're seeing exactly what you need to see. And meditate with the amethyst if that's going to help to open up that third eye chakra, but allow yourself to go along your meditation journey. Build the muscle over time is the most best advice that I can give you. But I now want to answer some questions, because this is going to lead me into some more information that I want to give you on meditation. And these were just fantastic questions. So I feel it was really important to answer those for you. So H Capel 21 on Instagram has asked, how do you use crystals in meditation? So this is a great question, and I kind of briefly touched upon this, but I'll dive a bit deeper with it. So you could pop a crystal all along your chakras on your body. So you could have one above your head for your crown chakra, on your third eye, on your throat chakra, on your heart chakra, on your solar plexus, on your sacral chakra, or on your root chakra. So you could line them up. A lot of people lie down and line the crystals up along their chakras and meditate with that. You could just have it on one particular chakra if you felt it needed that. You could hold them in your hands. So just sometimes I meditate holding crystals in my hands. You could have them around you. You don't even need to be holding them. You could set up a sacred space for crystals, for like a little altar for your meditation practice, with maybe a journal, maybe a candle, maybe a drink and a crystal. So there's lots of different ways you can connect to your crystals and meditate with crystals, but you can also do meditations to connect to the crystals. So that's a whole nother topic on itself that I'm sure you can have a look at here on YouTube. But yes, you can also connect to the crystal through meditation and cleanse the crystal, ask the crystal for its help. I've got a video on how you can ask and set intentions with your crystals. So make sure to have a watch of that and dive into a little bit deeper of how you can work with your crystal, because meditation is definitely an avenue that you can do that with. I think it's Chai Thoughts. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to pronounce that username, but thank you for your question. Can meditation reveal your psychic abilities? Absolutely. We are opening that third eye chakra, and that is our psychic intuitive abilities. So this is why when we're seeing things, we need that third eye chakra open, especially for the visual aspect of meditation. So absolutely, the more and more I've meditated over the years, the more I've nurtured that connection, nurtured the third eye. Yeah, the intuition part has just gone whoo, and it's the same for a lot of people I know. So if you want to work with that and you want to dive into that deeper, then absolutely crystal and intention, and meditating regularly with the intention and without force, of course, that you want to let it flow naturally. But absolutely, you will find pretty much naturally anyway, it's not necessarily something you have to force, you'll find naturally the more you connect to it, the more you open that third eye, that meditation absolutely brings those intuitive psychic abilities as well. The Warrior Home has asked, I struggle to visualize the things you mentioned. Should I keep doing the same one a few times? It's honestly up to you. Like I said, practice makes perfect. It could be that that meditation just isn't right for you and you're not quite resonating with it. It could be that, yes, sometimes you need to like do it on a better day when you're feeling a bit more energized, or you're just not quite feeling it. And actually, if you do it a couple of days later, you'll feel like, oh yes, I got more from that. So yes, try it again. But I think if you're really not getting anything after 2 times, I would put it down and try something a little bit different. Again, like I said, you don't necessarily need to see the things for it to work. I think people hold themselves up in a practice of perfection rather than a practice of allowing with meditation. And meditation is not about perfection, quite the opposite. Meditation is a practice of acceptance, of allowing, of receiving. So allow and challenge yourself to receive more, but allow and challenge yourself to let that meditation be what it needs to be for you, instead of controlling it or being like, I have to see something. Is it okay for you to not see something? Is it okay for you to just allow yourself to receive? So I'd really challenge you to, yes, do it again, maybe try some different types of meditation, but equally try a different one from this channel, or try a different one from someone else's channel, and see which ones feel good, and allow yourself to not see things, allow yourself to be okay with that, and know that you're still receiving all that goodness from the meditation regardless. And Janlu1 has asked, what crystals are good for meditation, please? So amethyst, as I've said, is fantastic. Clear quartz is an amplifier as well. So clear quartz is a really good crystal because it amplifies and really helps you to connect to these intuitive abilities. So I'd say clear quartz is a good one. Amethyst, I would say, is like the top one. Just go for that as your first one, 100%. That's like an all-round good, 100% great crystal to meditate with. It really depends what you want from the meditation as well. Past those two suggestions, selenite is good as well, connect you to your unicorns. Selenite is a really angelic crystal as well. So I normally would use selenite as well in meditation, or recommend it. But it really depends what you want out of your meditation practice. If you're wanting a self-love meditation, you're going to want to work with rose quartz. So I think really it's getting to the bottom of, well, what do I want from this meditation? If I want a throat chakra meditation, I'm going to want to work with crystals for the throat chakra. So more you can then say, right, what do I want from my crystals in this meditation? Is it manifestation? Okay, I'll work with citrine then. Is it self-love? Then I'll work with rose quartz. So it's more looking at, okay, what do I want to get out from this? What do I want to work on in this meditation, and what crystal would best support that? I mean, there are great crystals for meditation, but it's more of a case of, like, I would say get specific with your crystal based upon what you want to work on in that meditation. But selenite, amethyst, and clear quartz would be some great ones to get you started with. And Jan Rigby Moore has said learning patience. So patience with, and I want to go through intrusive thoughts as well, because this was a big question that was asked on the podcast. So with patience with meditation, it really is, again, allowing. Meditation, especially in that Buddhist teaching way, is not about an outcome. It's not about what you can get from something or an outcome. It is sitting still in silence, and that is it. It's allowing, it's receiving with no outcome, no agenda, and yeah, nothing basically. So I'd actually probably challenge you to do that. I would challenge you to look at more of the Buddhist way of meditating, of sitting still in thought, and knowing that that is enough, and knowing that that is what that meditation needs to be for you. So patience with meditation comes around control, and it's releasing that control to allow yourself to experience whatever it is you need to experience with your meditation practice, and allowing it to be what it needs to be. So I would definitely look at the control aspect from that side. Another big question that I get asked a lot is, I fall asleep in meditation, is this an issue? No, but it could also be. So we sometimes have to fall asleep in meditation to allow ourselves to fully receive. I've had this where I will set myself up for meditation success, which I'll get into in a second, and I will just fall asleep uncontrollably. I'll feel totally alert, totally energized, and then I'll just fall asleep. And I'll wake up thinking like, whoa, I was absolutely fine before. And when that happens, that is because sometimes our body needs to be like forced to put to sleep to fully receive. Maybe I would have controlled if I'd stayed alert. Maybe I wouldn't have fully allowed myself to receive whatever it is if I'd stayed awake. Whereas when I'm asleep, I'm fully receiving, I'm fully allowing. So that can absolutely happen. What sometimes does happen is people aren't meditating at the right time of day. For me, I know if I meditate after dinner, I am going to fall asleep. It is confirmed, it's going to happen. And I'll have to do the meditation all over again another day. But if I meditate in the morning or in the afternoon, I know that is the right time for me. I'm still going to have energy. I'm not going to be too tired. I'm not going to fall asleep, and I can be alert and aware. So sometimes it's the time of day that you're meditating that can really influence whether you fall asleep or not. So I think set yourself up for success with what time you're doing the meditation and making sure you're alert and energized and feeling awake. But yeah, if you're doing it right before bed and falling asleep, then you know that, just like me, it's probably not the best time of day to meditate. So sometimes we do just uncontrollably fall asleep, and we have to allow that and trust that absolutely the meditation is still 100% working. And other times it's looking at your routine and habits and saying, is it better for me to meditate at a better time of day when I'm going to be fully awake and present to do this. But again, the meditation is going to be what it needs to be, so allow it to be that. Final question then is about intrusive thoughts. And again, what do I do? Like, these thoughts are, overtaking my meditation practice. I can't quiet my thoughts. I'm having really intrusive thoughts. And this is so common. I absolutely had this in the beginning. It's so common. And there's lots of different ways that you can work with this. Some people like to see thoughts as clouds, and they just kind of like push the clouds away in their mind and see the clouds dissipate and disappear. Some people just like to imagine it like a windscreen wiper, where you're wiping away those thoughts. Again, finding peace with those thoughts. So looking at why those thoughts are coming up and saying, okay, why are you coming into my mind? Like, what is this about? Like, how can I support this thought? What message is it bringing me? Sometimes even just talking to the thoughts can really help them to lose power and again dissipate and release. But the thoughts are coming from our inner critic, ego/inner child. So sometimes we can feel a lot of resistance around calming our mind or releasing those thoughts because we want to control it. Our inner child wants to control and be like, no, we're not diving there. No, we're not going into there. So there can be definitely an inner work control aspect to this, where our subconscious mind wants to sabotage, because if we relax, then what could happen? So I see this a lot in people, and I think it's definitely a really common problem where the ego, inner critic, inner child almost sabotages with these really intrusive thoughts to stop us from diving in deeper and listening and connecting with ourselves and diving in, because when we dive in, things come up, right? So it's only trying to protect us. It's not anything negative, but it's equally acknowledging and witnessing, okay, am I sabotaging myself? Is this the inner child who is scared? Do I need to talk to that inner child? Do I need to reassure that inner child? So even reassurance to those thoughts, like you're safe, you're okay, you're held, we've got this, can be really transformative with that practice. And a really great tip that has actually really helped me, that was shared on my podcast many years ago. I've been doing the podcast 6 years, so I cannot remember for the life of me which guest said this, but at the time I laughed my head off thinking like, this is the weirdest advice anybody has ever given on meditation, but I tried it and it's absolutely worked. And these are really pesky thoughts as well. So if you're really struggling, what she said was, this guest, it's definitely a woman, she said that you imagine that your thoughts are like this baby monkey, and you imagine that there's this cot, there's a little bottle, a little like blankie, and this monkey is ready to go to bed. He's wearing a nappy. So you put the monkey, your thoughts, in this cot, and you feed it its bottle, you tuck it in, and you say, right, it's bedtime now, go to sleep. And then obviously like you imagine the monkey baby going to sleep. And I thought like, this is bizarre. Why is this woman sharing this? Anyway, I tried it and it absolutely works. So even maybe a powerful visual like that of like putting the thoughts to bed, putting them to sleep, seeing it as that monkey, can really just help in the terms of shutting things away. Well, not shutting things away, but like, just allowing them to clear for that moment in meditation to give you that peace and quiet. So I hope those tips help. Those are the tips that have really helped me over the years, even the most random ones. And obviously thank you to everybody for your wonderful questions. I answered even more on the podcast. So these were a different set of questions, but I've covered the most important ones as well here just at the end. So, because I know a lot of people ask about falling asleep and intrusive thoughts as well. But that's everything you need to know on meditation. Allow it to be what it needs to be. Allow it to be the journey it needs to be for you. And practice makes, well, I don't want to say practice makes perfect, because again, meditation is not a practice of perfection, but practice creates consistency, and consistency then creates the results that you want. So yes, keep at it and allow it to be what it needs to be. But thank you so much, gorgeous souls, for watching. I appreciate all your views and likes. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here, because we'd love to see you again soon. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comments box down below, because I reply to them all. And don't forget, you can join my free Law of Attraction support group over on Facebook, where you can join myself and other like-minded souls, where we talk all things Law of Attraction and spirituality. I hope you have a fabulous week, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you all in my next video, which will be on Friday. Lots of love.